Hello, my friends. This video is basically going to go over how I choose what to upgrade. And by meaning so, not during the big discount days, because on those days I generally will focus on my main hanger, which I think for most free to play is a very smart idea. But on the non discount days, for actually replacing items in my main hanger and possibly working on different builds to make more my main hanger a little bit more adaptable and beneficial to my gameplay. Now, this hanger right here is set up for a beacon rush. So I've got some fast starters and some like a late game emergency beacon capper, as well as some good damage dealers for mid battle. And that's what I'm looking at doing. I'm just trying to get the beacons, try to 5 cap them quick, hold them back, push them off the map, and just get the games done really, really quickly so I can earn videos. Now, what I'm using the videos for, of course, is to speed up upgrades. And this is what I'm kind of trying to highlight, is how I'm doing this, or my methods I'm using to get this accomplished. Well, of course, I've got this hanger here. My second hanger has nothing in it, really, as far as weapons. There is a Devourer back there, but not really super useful since I don't have the modules completely set and ready, and those are going to cost me a little bit more before I can bring it out to the battlefield with lots of confidence, especially since my pilot is the wrong pilot and I've only got 3 skills, and I don't have the memoriam really to progress the pilot any further, knowing that it's going to need to be replaced, and it's just too costly at this point with my limited resources as far as memoriam goes. So that's where I'm at with that. I did just happen to get the new Bjorn, and it's in the same boat. I don't really have the module currency to play with. I don't have the pilot to play with. So, unless I put one of these unassigned pilots in, which belong in a better, more appropriate Titan, it's kind of like, why would I do that? So, yeah, I'm kind of stuck on that until I can get a little bit more going for me. I did earn a Titan pad off of the event quest for the little Rockstar badge thing. I happened to lucky enough to acquire through both hard work and knowing the right people is really where that came down to. But on my Hangar 3, if you notice from Hangar 1, it's kind of matching uh, the robots. Some of them aren't in the same order, but their weapons are pretty much mirrored. In fact, I can put it into a. I'm not worried about it. But basically, I'm using these as stand ins for my main hanger. That way, if there's builds I want to work on, like if you notice here on the uh, Condor, this build works pretty well, but I want to upgrade it to the special edition versions. So that's kind of like my back burner kind of project. And 9 times out of 10, these weapons will possibly be nerfed or adjusted before I can get them into the battlefield. But who knows, I might luck into another Condor or something and when I run 2 of those. But once again, module currency. Yay, love Pixonics change ups. But, I've got other weapons that I'm kind of like backburnering. And I'm kind of rushing some of them, like these regulators here. I just want a regulator off of a weapon gold pad, and I want to kind of get those into my hanger as soon as possible. And I'm actually thinking on this build right here. I'm not 100 if I'm going to stick with the Warrior Scorcher on its way up. I might go to something like a mace or something else that would help the blast effect from its built-in weapon. I'm not quite 100%. I just equipped some of these Venom weapons because they're the same range as Muguan, Kirin, and Gangle. And I'm wondering if they will complement each other because right now I only have one Muguan and I've got that equipped onto my Skyros, which, you know, it can be a pestery little bugger when Titans come out. I'll just try to keep a little bit of distance and keep working them and, you know, try to stay alive and work as a little bodyguard for my Titans and grab the beacons. You know, it's my emergency. Hopefully the games don't even get to the point where I need this guy too super much. But, you know, when in doubt, it's better to have than to have not. But, you know, as I said, it's possible builds that I want to be working on and I'll back burner them. But when I don't have a discount, I go with the lowest weapons, and I sometimes don't even bother to rush them due to the fact that it's costing me extra. But with it being under level, let's say 6, I can see using non-discount days. But when it gets to like level 6 and higher, it's like, okay, do I want to spend twice as much silver just to have it ready? You know, I really start to weigh my options there. Or do I just let it sit in the background? And I'll also try to push one at a time. So, unless I'm working on trying to work a full build, um, like on these regulators, I got it to 7. That's its cutoff point till it hits a discount. I'll back burner the second regulator until the first regulator proves its worth. I'll just slowly cook the second regulator until that one is, as I said, and I know right now those things do really pack a wallop, and I'm thinking this build might just be a little something extra funky, but you know, I've got a couple different directions I might go with it. I might take the Lambries out. I may go with the mace. You know, there's a couple different options with the Frankenstein builds. So I just try to keep my options open. That way, if the meta changes, I'm ready to roll with the punches. And I also try to look at these forgotten weapons every now and again to see if, who knows, maybe they got a secret buff or whatnot that might be worthwhile taking a look at and exploiting before people catch on. But that's kind of the near and dear soul of a free-to-play player, is you got to kind of be wiser than the meta. But I will use this little upgrade button as kind of like a guide, but not as gospel, because that little upgrade button doesn't necessarily say what the cheapest thing is. It used to indicate what the most affordable item in the hangar is. Now you kind of have to look around. It's just giving you a suggestion of what to upgrade. I am going to follow it on this round because that regulator I do want to push up. As you can see, 2 million and 1 day. 1 day is going to be 5 videos. And if I can make, what is it, 400,000 per game, I've easily afforded this one upgrade. So I know it will take me approximately 1 hour to do the 5 games. And I also am mindful about what time it is. So there's only 30 minutes until the video's reset. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to initiate this video, or this upgrade. As you can see, my videos are actually currently used up. I have to play battles to access more. And knowing that there's 30 minutes left, I'm going to hop open a timer. Let's see, take that down. And I'll give myself a little bit of wiggle room. Let's say 24 minutes. That way I can make it back in time in order to watch my videos and make use of the videos I do collect during my game times. But that will give me enough time for 2 games, and then I can get back into chasing after all the goodies and getting my upgrades and possibly getting some of these. I don't know if y'all noticed, but yeah, these got changed up. All the basic ones are now for 10 gold a pop. And to me, 10 gold, not worthwhile. I could see if these daily tasks got upgraded. So if you do all your dailies, you can get into the next level. But if they start putting like the chips and the memoriam and everything behind a paywall, it will be just one more thing I'm frustrated with the game about. But I hope this has found you know, somewhat interesting, maybe informative, maybe even helpful. Who knows? So yeah, uh, good luck in your games. If you all have any questions or anything that I might be able to help you unlock as far as learning more about the game, feel free to drop a comment. I try to respond to all of them. And yeah, be good or be good at it. Until next time, fellas, see y'all on the battlefield.